Vintage Sound 93.1 FM, Tony Tone Show on the MPW Digital TV Celebrity Hotline. This is interesting. Tonight on FX, it's The People versus OJ Simpson American Crime Story. Tanya Brown is the youngest sister of Nicole Brown Simpson, and she's on the phone to talk about this because, there's a lot of things she has to say, so without further ado, Tanya, how are you?
I'm great, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it. I know that
not a problem.
I got to be honest, this is like a weird conversation to have because of all the things your family's gone through. Did you think that, all these years later, you'd be on the radio talking about a TV series that's covering this case and kind of bringing it back into the spotlight?
Never in my wildest dreams. And I want your listeners to really know that not one person from the miniseries contacted my family. So we have absolutely nothing to do with the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called The People versus OJ Simpson. And if it's not a docudrama, then why am I in 8 episodes when I didn't even go to the trial?
Oh my gosh, you are?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So I don't know.
The last time I searched in Google, and it says how many episodes everybody's in, I was in 8. I went to the trial, I went to the pre-trial, and I probably went to the criminal trial, I could count on one hand because I had to work.
Right.
So if it's not a docudrama, why in the world am I in it?
I don't understand this. First of all, I can't even wrap my mind around the fact that nobody, not one person from FX or whoever produced the series reaches out to your family. Never? Really?
Yeah, not one person. So that's why I'm doing all of these interviews, is because I don't want people to think that, oh, they're the Browns doing their thing again. And it's like, no, nobody, not one person reached out. So I'm finding out that there's this movie happening about my family, about the trial, not just my family, about the whole trial. And in a speaker's boot camp.
Wow.
And then I didn't even know that there were commercials on until I'm sitting in my boyfriend's couch, and there's a commercial.
Oh, my gosh.
So no forewarning, not one phone call like, hey, Tanya, what was your family like? What was Nicole like? What was Uncle OJ like before all of this? Tell us a little bit. Not one person contacted us, but David Schwimmer and Kris Kardashian had a conversation about it because she wanted her husband to be portrayed correctly.
Oh, my gosh.
Do what you're going to do. Do your movies, do your books, Jeffrey Toobin, do whatever it is that you want to do. I just wanted a phone call. So seeing, revisiting all of this on the television, I'm used to it. The 10 years after my sister's murder, I attempted a suicide. I went into a psych unit. So I've dealt with my pain and my anger. I've dealt with that, and I don't live in the trauma or the tragedy. I don't even think about Nicole every day. It's like my life has gone on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't live in that. But I'm so disappointed in the lack of respect that people show one another lately. And that's why I'm speaking out. Because there's surprises on television when I'm hanging out with my mom, and my mom has to witness this.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. I mean, for a family like yours that has gone through so much for so long, like you said, to get past it as much as you can, and then this happens, it's such an insult, and I hope that people don't watch it. I mean, because it doesn't seem ethical at all that they could produce something and not speak to your family. I'm really disappointed that didn't take place, and I just hope that people understand exactly that. And unfortunately, with social media and how accessible everyone is in 2016, it'll be interesting to see people that do watch this and what the response is. I assume that you're not going to watch this, right?
It's so funny. I change my mind hour by hour, actually minute by minute. I'm like, do I watch it? Today is their wedding anniversary.
Oh, man.
And it starts today. So if this wasn't orchestrated, I don't understand the mindset of these people. I just don't understand the mindset. But yeah, it's not factual. It's based on Jeffrey Toobin's book. I never read his book. I never read any book ever written with the trial. Nothing, because it's like, why?
Mm-hmm.
And, it's, this mini-series is just baffling. And I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question right now.
No, it's
my
okay.
mind kind of just went to sharing that. It's just baffling that this whole thing is happening. I'm not reading things on social media. In fact, I've told people not to tag me in their comments. I've told people, just because there's two kids. Well, they're adults now. It's their dad.
Right.
And people forget that. And no matter what, it will always be their dad. Mm-hmm. So in my heart, I choose. I don't have to. I choose to respect that, because those really are the true victims in this whole thing, are Sydney and Justin, because they don't have parents.
Yeah. No, I can't.
And to tell you the truth, they're more grounded and solid than any person I know in my social circle.
I was just going to ask. And that's great to hear. And it's just such a trip. I mean, it's so weird that this thing got done. It says in the notes, Tanya, that OJ has called you from prison. And I wonder, first of all, when you get that call, because I'm assuming they tell you who it is before you answer it, right? So you kind of get you get to.
Let me be clear. This wasn't in his previous arrest. This was 21 years ago.
Okay.
That phone call.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't from here. I have not spoken to him, seen him. I mean, how long has he been in there? 7 years or something like that? No, there has not been one phone call from him. But when he was accused of murder, 21 years ago, that's when I received the phone call, and that was weird.
I bet.
Because I got out of my own way, and I was assuming he would get out of his own way so we can, give condolences to a family who suffered an aneurysm. Mm-hmm. But instead, he made the conversation about him. Ugh. So that was an indicator that I was like, who is this person?
Right.
He's nasty.
What happened to this guy?
21 years,
mm-hmm.
In 21 years, we never even got, hey, I'm sorry for your loss.
Mm.
Not that I did it. I'm so sorry for your loss. Not one time.
So, and I don't want to be disrespectful when I ask this question, but for your own sake and for the sake of your family, have you almost been forced to forgive this person so you can just let go of that? Because that can be a tough thing to let go of. I can't even imagine.
It's something that doesn't come overnight. You really got to be intentional about it. And I wanted what my mom had, and that was some sense of internal peace. I have no idea where she got this. I think my mom's just a beautiful soul, and I think it's just innate, where she has this beautiful peace and acceptance mm-hmm. that she was born with. And I wanted that. So believe me, this didn't happen overnight. I forgave, I let go, and then I and then I attempted a suicide years later. So obviously I didn't let it go until I was really, when I was in the hospital. Did I forgive? Yes. But I didn't really fully let it go until I got sick. And, we chose to forgive. My mom and I can't speak for Denise and my other sisters, but I chose to forgive, not to say, hey, let's go have coffee, let's do lunch sometime. It's more like, I don't want to be bound down by negative trauma, tragedy, resentment, anger, hate. I'm not going to allow that ball and chain to hold me down for the rest of my life. I do not live in the tragedy. Well, and even before my breakdown, I didn't live in it. It. Like I said, I think I said it in this interview, I'm not too sure, but it's like I don't live in the tragedy. In fact, I love Nicole and I miss Nicole, but I don't think about her every day.
Well,
she's very much alive in my home and
sure.
in my parents' home. She's very much alive. Pictures everywhere. She's part of our conversations. Mm-hmm. But we don't live in the tragedy. We live in a state of acceptance. There's nothing you can do. We choose to move on. And that's pretty much with everything in our life.
Well, Tanya, listen, I really want to say thank you for the time. I appreciate it. I know that this is a weird and unfortunate moment for your family, and I just hope people listening understand that the Brown family was not contacted about the new series tonight. I wish you continued peace and all the best to you and your family, Tanya, okay?
Thank you so much, and stay warm out there, you guys.
Yeah, we will. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
You take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.